How's it going, everybody? I'm Paulie. Nice to meet you all. Back at it again with another video. This video, I just wanted to, slow it down, give you a little bit of insight as to who I am, the goals for the channel, as well as... And I'm going to be sharing with you the process of this self-portrait illustration. There's a little callback to this self-portrait I did a while back. I want to say 2-3 years now, when I hit 250 subscribers. So nice little callback for making it to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much again. And here's the process of that. So yeah, if you're new to this channel, once again, I'm Paulie. And I do a lot of art process videos, as well as I've done my own little art challenge. I try to do painting and comic book making, as well as just, drawing overall. I am a sketchbook addict. Well, maybe not that harsh, but I'd like to work in sketchbooks a lot. I like to get better at my craft, and so I share my sketchbook often here on the channel. But before we get into it, here's the verse of the day. All right, so let's get into it. So who is Paulie? So I'm a Christian Black artist based here in the Western New York area, and I've been drawing all my life. I always like to tell people whenever they ask the question of when did you fall in love with artwork, and how did you become like the artist that you are today? I always like to tell people we all draw when we're young. It's a matter of who stops, right? And so I've just never stopped, I've always had a passion for drawing. My parents always encouraged me to just keep going in whatever field I wanted to pursue. So I've, with me always wanting to draw, I'm here in the art business. So yeah, I'm one of the little ones that never stopped drawing, and now I'm here. So when I was younger, I would always tell my parents that I'd like to eventually assume the occupation of a master artist, whatever that meant back then. Over the past couple of years, I've now been able to vocalize what I really want to do, which is illustration. I want to be an illustrator. I do consider myself an illustrator now, because I've always loved storytelling. When I was younger, I would always consume whatever comics, manga, cartoons, or anime that I could get my hands on. I would visit the local library all the time, just scavenging for new pieces of manga or comic books that I can just learn from and just absorb the art style and the storytelling. From that, I've always had this fascination of telling a story through images, especially sequential order of images, right? And so just recently I've been able to vocalize that that's something I want to do. And so my goal is to add to that library of great comic book artists and illustrators for children's books, or even just illustration through painting. But anywho, I've also worked as a caricature artist for the past 8 to 9 years now. I picked up that skill when I was around 14 years old, and got a job at my local amusement park, just drawing caricatures of people. At first, it was very scary. At first it was frightening for a little timid, introverted child such as myself. But as I, challenged myself to just speak more to people and draw them while doing so, with people behind me, walking to and fro, silently judging the drawing, I've just become more comfortable with this kind of performative art, where I'm drawing this person as stylized, as funny and exaggerated as I can, but also taking the time to learn about the person, hear their story, as well as use the different elements of their mannerisms and put that in a caricature as well. So I've picked up that skill over the years. Just recently, I say recent, but it's been around 4 or 5 years now, where I've been getting really into painting. I first started off as a digital painter. I got this iPad from one of my high school teachers during the pandemic, the crazy years, and really took a liking to Procreate. I've been watching digital artists for years now, but when I got the iPad, it was finally my time to shine. and just, see if I could put those skills to the test. So that's what I did. Around that time, I was doing a lot of album covers for friends and people who were just interested in my talents. And then from there, I just kept building the skill of like painting. And then eventually, when I got into college, I explored oil painting, which is really fun to work with, but it's very, very, how should I say, the setup is a lot of work. So I eventually switched over to acrylics, and that's what I predominantly use now. I consider myself an illustrator through the mediums of mostly paint and pen for the most part. So yeah, I also wanted to mention that I made a comic book as well. You can check this out if you like. The free version of the comic is in the description below if you want to take a gander at that. But yeah, so that was a recent venture as well. And just in the past 2-3 years now, I've had around 5 gallery shows, which has been really exciting as well. Just having my hands in both the comic book making world as well as the fine art / painting world. It's been fun just trying to tell as many stories as I can through images. It's been a blessing to be a part of these different ventures with my wife right by my side. It's been amazing. It's been awesome. With the support of my family and my community as well, it's just been a blessing. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of markets as well. So it's been awesome. So I wanted to get into real quick the why. Alright, so getting into the why. So why are you doing all this, Paulie? There's already so many different challenges to the art community and making a living with this occupation. There really isn't, the art world isn't the most lucrative, to be in. Like why even try when AI is replacing most of the artists that are in the industries right now? Why try when like most people don't respect or look at art as a sustainable career, especially for a family? Why do art on YouTube if most of the art that's being saturated on this platform is mostly kiddie art that has little to no story going on or anything like that? Why get into the specific niche that you're getting into, Paulie? Why? Well, I'll tell you. First off, I love creating art. And also because I think it's my God-given abilities and gifts to do so. I think it's my purpose to use the talent and the time that I've put into this craft and skill to give it back to the Lord, as well as to bless others with it. I look at visual art as another form of communication. I think, like I said earlier, we all create art, we all draw, we all try to paint when we're young. It's a matter of who stops to where they develop the craft, they develop the ability to create some sort of realism or the illusion of realism through like 2D or even 3D materials. But it's all a form of communication. And so I look at art as another form of communication and building a relationship with somebody else and with everyone around me. With that, I may better be able to paint a feeling or a cautionary tale or a sublime scenario or a story that inspires you better than I could with just my words, right? There's that saying, right, that we all hear, a picture paints 1,000 words. Sometimes what could be said in like a sentence or a paragraph or an entire story can be summed up in just one picture. And so with that, I'd like to bring, godly attributes and principles to how I live my life, for one, how I speak and communicate with others, and translate all of that into my gift and my skill, which is painting and drawing and just picture making. With everything I do, I want to give it back to the Lord, as well as to communicate with others how beautiful of a gift life is, and just really express how much of a joy it is to just be able to share this beautiful piece of creation that we all get to share and enjoy and inhabit with one another that we call Earth. I also want to bring up this scripture as well to really bring home what I'm trying to communicate, which is, and I'm going to read Mark chapter 12, verse 29 through verse 31. And it says, And Jesus answered him, and the first of all of the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely this, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. I want to give my gift back to the Lord, as well as use my gift as a means to bless others. And my message is always going to be sharing the good news, as well as showing how the good news has set me free and how it can set you free as well. I want to exhibit the goodness of God with everything I do, with the paintings I create, with the stories that I tell, with how I even present myself within these videos. I don't want to curse or anything like that, exhibit any like nudity or anything that may cause anybody to stumble. And with every piece of work, I want to share how the goodness of God can transform our hearts as well as the environment around us. Change us from wicked to righteous. Changing our environment from just terrible to holy. And how he can just use us as vessels to make this place to make our world a better place. And that's why you'll see a lot of joy, justice, peace, and just honoring godly attributes in nearly all of my artwork. I want every piece to get you closer to the Prince of Peace, So that's my goal with each artwork, and I hope that shines through every painting or drawing that I make. Let me know, obviously, if it doesn't, and if I missed the mark, please let me know. I want to correct myself with my walk. That's the why. I want to share that same hope that I've been given by God through my artwork and through this channel. This is a place where you can be inspired to create whatever story you want to tell, so long as it's God inspired, or so long as it's done with wisdom and godly principles. Yeah, that's what I'd like to communicate and share with my artwork. All right, so we're gonna get into how now. How did I become this artist? Oh, how you can support me? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So honestly, just giving feedback in the comments, liking the video, or subscribing always helps. Like I said earlier, you can download the free version of my comic book in the description below. The free version gives you the digital scans of the original artwork. And if you want to buy the comic, the actual comic, in which it's finished, it's only $3.50 if you're interested. But yeah, these are some of the pages of the comic if you're interested. So, but other than that, just supporting the channel is super helpful. So yeah, that's how you can support me if you like. Alright, so if I haven't lost you yet and you've stuck around this long in the video, I just want to thank you so much for watching. Once again, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And if this was your first video of mine, why not check out another one? Check out this one right here, where I miserably failed my own challenge that me and my wife created. It was a bit of a doozy, but yeah. If you want to check out the drawings that I did for that challenge and what the challenge was about, check out the video right here. But with all that said, thank you guys once again. I'll catch you guys in the next one. God bless.